I'm a Spirit Keeper, and I give you a reason for every season. And today I'm at the Spirit Christmas flagship location because they are about to open in just 2 hours as it is 8 a.m. I truly cannot wait because this year they have a much bigger ISE filled with even more animatronics. So without any further ado, let's go and see them. And here we are at Peppermint Lane, the Spirit Christmas 2025 ISE. Obviously right up there, we have the giant sign with the Spirit Christmas Santa on top. Peppermint Lane is the 2025 ISE name. So there you go. The sign looks phenomenal. I really like how the candy canes are holding it up right there. And obviously right here we have Charlie in the Box, who is new for 2025, and he is being retailed for $220. And I do want to cover on the step pads as they are little peppermints. So let's get a demo of Charlie in the Box.
I'm the official sentry at the island of misfit toys.
There we go, Charlie in the Box. And also right here we have a sign that says Island of Misfit Toys, which is really cool. Ties in with Charlie in the Box. And then right over here we have the two other Misfit toys, with this one being Misfit Dolly, who is $220 as well. So let's see Dolly.
Dolly for Sue.
There we go. Let's get one more demo of Dolly.
Wake up! Don't you know it's time to come out?
So there we go, Misfit Dolly. And then right over here we have the Misfit Elephant, which is another pretty cool one.
How would you like to be a spotted elephant?
He is also $220. So all the Misfit toys are being retailed for $220. And then right over here we have Clarice from Rudolph, who's also $220.
Rudolph, I think you're cute.
There we go, Clarice. She's actually really big in person. I really like the proportions, and she has the wreath around her neck right there. Another really cool one, I might pick her up this year. And right here, one that I'm very excited to take a look at. This is the Candy Cane Bling Nutcracker being retailed for $600.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your King. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
This guy is also Bluetooth, which is really cool, so you can actually choose the sound that he does play. And then right here we also have a new Rudolph blow mold for 2025. And now we can take a look at this house right here, 1225 Peppermint Lane, or 1225. Similar to last year, we have the houses. So this right here is the Peppermint Lane house, which I think looks really nice. The same roof as last year as well with the gumdrops. And right here we have another one of the Nutcrackers, but I'm not quite sure if this guy's on, so we'll see if he is. But he's also $200 that I do want to point out. He is a collapsible Nutcracker, so he's very good for storage. And then moving over here, we have the Swingin' Elf, who is $200. I'm not going to stay for the entire demo, but obviously this guy is a reskin of the Swingin' Snowman from last year. And something that's super cool is this right here, the Spirit Christmas sign that actually has an archway. And over here we have the post office, which is also very similar to last year. We have the letter that you can put in right there. They have all the letters right here with some pens. So as you can see, an example right here. So you can take a look at this and you see send a letter to Santa, and then you actually, this light will light up and it will be nice or naughty. So that's definitely a very cool feature that I love about the post office. And then right here, we actually have a bench so you can sit down, and I think that that's a definitely cool, unique feature for this year. And then right here, we have the silver bling nutcracker. So
Take a house with a thousand honey, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Don't we now our gay apparel, la 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 la.
there we go, and he's also Bluetooth and is also $600. And then right here, which has to be my favorite animatronic for 2025, Frosty the Snowman.
Could I really be alive? I can make words. I can move. I can juggle. I can sweep. I can count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 6, 8. Well, I can count to 5.
There we go, Frosty the Snowman, being retailed for $300. Definitely one of my favorites, and he looks so cool in person. Here's a comparison of his head. He is massive, so definitely an awesome prop. And he is actually fluffy, which I think is really cool. And then back here, we have the display with the Christmas tree that is actually rotating, as you can see. And right here, we have the motion tracking Santa. So let's definitely get a demo of this guy.
Merry Christmas! 'Tis the season of snowflakes, laughter, and warm, fresh-baked cookies. Leave some for me, and I just might drop by with gifts. Ho, ho, ho.
This guy is also a really cool one, and he's $300. I love that he does have the motion tracking, and this guy looks awesome in person. Definitely another one of my favorites. He looks super cool. The face looks really nice, and I also like how his hand is like that, and then also the present with the motion tracking. Definitely the best part about this guy. And then moving over here, we have one of the new green nutcrackers. So this guy also, not sure if this guy's on, but we have the green nutcracker, which also has some mouth movement, and he also sings some songs. He is $200. And then right here, we actually have a price list for the ISC pieces, so you can go ahead and pause the video if you do want to see that. But now moving on to the stock. So first up, we have some of the new nutcrackers. We have the candy cane one, and then we have the silver one, and then back here we have the returning red classic nutcracker, the collapsible one. We have a Clarice back there, motion tracking Santa, Frosty the Snowman, and then over here we actually have a swinging snowman from last year, and 3 of the elves, it appears. Let's just confirm that. Yep, 3 of the elves. And then back here, we have the entire blow mold selection. Ton of new additions this year, with one of them being the Mickey Mouse, which I think is a really cool one. But one of my favorites has to be the new Bumble. This blow mold looks absolutely amazing. Let's get a price check on him. He is going to be... Actually, I don't believe it has a price on it, but he is so cool. Oh, it says it right there. $50 for every single one of these, so each is $50. And I think that is definitely worth it, as they are blow molded plastic. And this Bumble looks absolutely amazing. We also have the Rudolph right here, which is also brand new. I think that one also looks amazing. And then we have the return Mickey and Minnie gingerbread blow molds, one of my favorites as well from last year. And then we also have the Santa Jack skeleton from last year. And then up there, you can get an overview of all 5 of the blow molds besides the gingerbread Mickey. So that also looks amazing. And I'll come back to all of this over here. But first, we need to check out this new inflatable section. Spirit Inflatable Lane, as you can see right there. Look at all these inflatables. First, I want to start off with this giant Bumble. This thing is huge. Look at how far I have to back up just to get an overview of this guy. He looks amazing, giant, and also sort of LEDs in there, so if he is on at night, this guy will look amazing. Definitely a giant one, so you do need quite a bit of space for this guy, but he looks awesome. And now we can move on And they actually have all of the Misfit toys. As you can see, they have the elephant, Dolly, and Charlie in the box. And they actually are animated. As you can see, they all rise up. So there we go. Charlie in the box, also really cool. He's only $70. And then right here, we have the giant Rudolph inflatable, who I believe is 10 feet tall. Another really awesome one. And then we have some of the SpongeBob inflatables right over here. We have the Patrick Star and then the actual SpongeBob house with the Christmas lights, obviously. And then even more inflatables, some returning from last year. And before we move on, here is all the stock of the inflatables. They have a full wall dedicated to inflatable stock. And then behind me, moving on, we have the polar bear, which I think looks really cool, the snowman, and then we have the teddy bear, and just even more inflatables. We have the Santa, and then another one of my favorites, this gingerbread stack. This is also new, and I think that this one also looks really cool, also including those LEDs. This is also a really cool one, definitely one of my favorites. As you can see, it's very large, over 10 feet tall. And then right here we have some of the inflatables in stock. We have the 20-foot animated snowman, which isn't set up, but this guy is $300. And we also have the Santa, the Christmas tree, and then the gingerbread man. And over here we have even more inflatables on this wall. Not all of them are set up here, but we also have a Charlie Brown inflatable down there. We also have Frosty, which I think this one looks so cool. Definitely a really cool one. 9.5 feet tall. We have a Jack Skellington who is $130. We even have even more up here. I really love all the inflatable selection. I think that's really great that they have so many characters. And they even have one of the Bumbles in stock down there. And then moving on to this back wall, they have even more inflatables. As you can see, so many inflatables to choose from. Moving backwards, we have some of the lights. As you can see, we have a 20-inch oversized light bulb, which I think looks pretty cool. These seems to be plastic, so a sort of almost rubber material similar to a inflatable. And then we have some lights over here. Don't want to spend too much time on these as they aren't really anything too special. And then moving over to some of the decor on this side, and then we'll circle our way back to the other side. We have all of this tinsel, and we have some Christmas tree bags. Don't want to spend too much time on this as these are kind of just extras. But now here is something that I think is super cool. We have an ornament wall. As you can see, they are $10 each. So there are so many ornaments to choose from. I'll give you a good look at all of these. They even have some of the horror nutcrackers that they had last year as ornaments. So I think that that is definitely super cool. So there you go, all of the ornaments that Spirit Christmas does have this year. And then behind me, we actually have some of the figures. As you can see, Snoop Dogg, you have Ralphie, Buddy, and then also some Krampuses down there. We also have some ornaments over here. Once again, nothing too special, because I do want to move on to something right over here, which is going to be these new props. Now, I'm not completely sure if they are animated. I guess we can take a look at the tag. Holiday greeters. So this looks really cool. The bluey looks awesome, and they have even more. As you can see up top, they have a Frosty the Snowman, which I think looks awesome. They even have two variants of Frosty. They have one with the broom and then one with him holding a Christmas tree, which I think looks so awesome. We even have Mickey. There's so many options. You even have Hello Kitty and Snoopy. So these are definitely really cool items for 2025. And also right behind me, we have even more characters. As you can see, we have some elves up there. We have a Rudolph, which that one looks really neat. We have some Nightmare Before Christmas, Woody, Mickey, and then actually Star Wars down here. As you can see, you have a Stormtrooper and then Grogu. And over here, some Nightmare Before Christmas merchandise. And this is actually the Creepmas section. So first, actually, this is brand new for 2025. Take a look at this. Santa holding a Halloween book and an almost red and black lollipop. That's really cool. And then also this guy right down here, he's holding a pumpkin. He has a skull. And then over here we have a nutcracker selection as well on the back wall of the Creepmas. So I'll give you a good look at this. a mini version of the collapsible nutcracker from last year, the red one. We have some Santas and even more nutcrackers. Spirit has such a wide selection when it comes to everything Christmas at the Spirit Christmas store, which I think is so awesome because it's a really good fit for everybody. We have some Creepmas paintings, and I really like this one. It's an evil snowman. Also down here, we have a We Wish You a Scary Christmas Nightmare for Christmas painting, and even Terrifier 3, almost like paper things that you can hang up, and this looks really awesome. Really neat piece. As you can see, Art the Clown right there dressed with the Santa hat and the Santa outfit. And then also some things from last year. We have the Santa and Mrs. Claus paintings. But now this right here, the Ghostface Santa Sidestepper. Let's get an activation of this if any of them are on, because this I would really like to see in action. But it doesn't appear that any of them are on because you probably do have to pull out that little plastic thing. But these, obviously, they will step side to side, and this looks awesome. I really like the Santa hat and then the bloody face. And then over here we have even more of the Creepmas nutcrackers, which this one is new, and this one looks really awesome. As you can see, he's holding a sign, slashing through the snow. We even have an Art the Clown. We have a regular one and a Santa version. This one, so awesome, and his arm even moves. And then obviously we have the returning Ghostface and the Krampus. Over here we have even more items, as we do have some of the returning Day to Christmas countdowns. We have the Jack Skellington, the Buddy the Elf, and two new ones. We have Frosty the Snowman and Bumble, and then behind me there's even more. We actually also have a Patrick and SpongeBob one, which is new. That Bumble one and the Frosty are definitely super neat and definitely great additions for 2025. And over here we have some new props, with this being a holiday gremlin sidestepper. This is an awesome piece. Obviously, this is a gremlin. Instead, it's dressed up with Christmas lights and a Santa hat. Let me see if we can get a price on this guy. He is $35. That is an absolute steal for this. This looks so awesome. I really love the Christmas lights and everything. And up here, we actually have Frosty the Snowman as almost like an elf on the shelf of some sort. So you can put him on a table or anything. A really nice decoration. We have Bumble and Dolly. And then over here, we have even more. We have that guy having a brain fart, can't remember him. We have the elephant, Dolly again, and then Bumble. Moving back over here, we have even more props. Obviously, not going to get demos of these, as some of them are returning, but some of them are new. So we can get a quick go of Frosty. As you can see, he moves. So that's definitely a really neat piece. And over here, even more props. As you can see, sort of the Rudolph selection. We have Rudolph himself in many different forms. And then also some pillows down here of some of the misfits like Dolly. And we have Bumble and Rudolph. And over here we have Yukon Cornelius, that's his name. We have more Bumble plushes, which this looks really nice. Extendable legs, it says. We have more Rudolph. And then we have some signs, even that really cool painting. Over here we have some giant stockings and some more signs / paintings. So as you can see, you can get a nice look at all of these. And even signs down here, as I mentioned. This one looks really cool. As you can see, Jack is almost in a nutcracker form, as well as all the other characters. And then we have even more signs over here. So you can just get a nice look at all of these. Pause the video if you would like. So there you go, all of these, all the signs. And behind me, we have some of the animated light kickers. None of them are on because you do have to pull the tab. And then some stars over here. Moving on to the other side of the store, we have all of the gingerbread houses. As you can see, some being from last year. We even have a Stranger Things one down here, which this one looks really cool. You even have a Vecna, and then over here we have some stock and selection. As you can see, the plain one, and then all with colors as well. So really cool. And then we even have some wrapping paper, as you can see, and we have some gift bags, which once again, don't want to spend too much time on these, as these are the smaller items. And actually some of the decorated stockings over here, you have Rudolph in all of these. Actually, they even have a Mandalorian, which is new for this year, so definitely really neat. And then moving over here, we actually have some almost baskets. We have Clarice, Rudolph up there, as you can see. We also have the Misfit Elephant and Bumble. And over here we have some PJs, as you can see. And then moving over here to the shirt wall. First I will cover on these though, just some other shirts and costumes. But here is the shirt wall. So as you can see, so many shirts to choose from this year. Some being horror and some just being straight up Christmas. So as you can see, the entire shirt wall. And they do have a decent amount of stock of shirts, as you can see. But here's the entire shirt wall. I will back up. You can pause the video if you would like. And then over here, we have even more costumes and everything. And then we even have a Clarice shirt, which I think is pretty neat. And then almost like a button down. We also have a Santa Claus costume. And then we also have Buddy the Elf. And over here, even more of those costumes. You even have almost hats or heads to put on as a gingerbread man, which is really neat. And then over here, some of the headbands. But now I do want to move on to all of the ugly sweaters for this year. Obviously, the ugly sweaters being big, heavy hitters from last year. So I definitely want to show these off. Most of them are returning, but still very cool to see all of these. We also have this guy over here who is not having the best day. We have a snowman, lots of sweaters. So definitely really nice to see these for 2025. And then moving over here, we actually have a mirror. So there I am. And then we have all of these ugly sweaters. These look really nice. I also like the South Park one, as you can see. Definitely a cool one. But many ugly sweaters, which I think Spirit Christmas did a great job last year and an even better job this year, as they just have so many different things. Even a Wicked sweater, which probably going to be a very good seller this year. We have Buddy the Elf down there. Tons of sweaters. They even have SpongeBob new for this year. And then behind me, we have the horror ugly sweaters. As you can see, the ghost face. Most of these are just from last year. Still, nonetheless, cool to see. We have Halloween, more Halloween. We have a Chucky one. And then the Terrifier one from last year, definitely a really cool one. This one does even light up. Now we can move over to the hat wall. So many hats to choose from. As you can see, over here we have more of the exaggerated hats. As you can see, the Santa hat. And over here we have Santa's feet that can go on your head. And then we also have a reindeer. But many hats. Once again, wide selection of everything here at Spirit Christmas. As you can see, even a Stitch hat. So if you are going to go out in snow or anything like that, definitely make sure to come to Spirit Christmas because they are going to have you covered. And over here is the Santa area. So this is where Santa will be when he does arrive, with that being November 21st. And then behind me, we also have more stock, with this being Krampus. And then we have some ornaments over here and even more clothing. So we'll go ahead and take a walk through this. We have some more costumes with those heads. And we also have some costumes for children, which is a nice thing for 2025. So this is definitely cool to see. And also back here, we have a Santa outfit. So definitely cool to see. As you can see, 12 to 18 months. So it says, "Sorry Santa, I drank the milk." So that's a pretty funny shirt. And actually, I didn't even know they had this. Take a look at this. They have sweaters for children, ugly sweaters for children. It's not just for adults. This is so awesome. They even have a little ghost down there. They have SpongeBob, Wicked. So they even have sweaters for kids. So Spirit Christmas really has you covered in every category. As you can see, even a Bumble over here and even more shirts. Over here we actually have some sweaters, this being Stitchmas. We also have a Grogu, and we also have a Buddy the Elf. And right here you can actually see the wall of t-shirts that they do have. So that's definitely nice. And then they do have a decent amount of stock, as you can see. And then behind me we also have some hats for kids as well. As you can see, Hello Kitty, you have Rudolph the Grinch, Penguin, and an elf. And then one of the final areas, we have the white elephant gifts. So obviously there's going to be tons of gifts over here. So we have this thing over here, a fake money shooter. So tons of stuff over here. You can take a look at all of this. We even have some of the blankets over here that start at $27. We also have Rudolph down there. Let's get a close-up of those two blankets. And over here we have some of the plushies. I don't see any of the Creepmas ones from last year, like that Skeleton Santa, but they do have this guy, which looks pretty neat. And then also a new ghost face. They do have the Terrifier, Santa Claus, and over here we actually have a pillow of the Santa or the Clown. And then we also have some slippers, obviously classic, and some PJs over here. But moving on, we have some of the cups, which I know also are very well sellers. So here they are. You have all of the Stanleys. You have the Bumble, and then down here you even have an Art the Clown one with all the bling, which looks really nice. So I'll get a good look at all of this whole section, gift given as it says on top. And over here we even have mugs, which some of the big ones from last year being the Santa Ghostface one, and then we even have the Chucky, which looks really cool. And over here we have some of the ducks as well. We have the Chucky duck, the Pennywise, so tons of these, and we even have a chicken, as you can hear. So definitely a funny thing. They're all falling. But down here we even have an even bigger chicken, so that's definitely really cool to see. And moving on, we have some of Woobles, which I've seen these a bit over the internet, so it's definitely cool to see Spirit Christmas getting onto these. As you can see, you knit them together and it comes out like that. We even have pillows over here and tons of board games. They also have a Clue, Nightmare Before Christmas, Candyland with the Grinch, Rudolph, and then over here we have some puzzles. So definitely tons of great gifts that you can get one another. And over here we have even more clothes. Here is that holiday spirit, this booth over here with all of the pillows. As you can see, they have a nice big peppermint and also large bows. This one is $60, and then these are $50. And then back here we also have some pillows, which nice to see. Definitely one of my favorite pillows being all of the Creepmas ones that we did just take a look at. But still definitely cool to see. Like we have a candy cane right here, which is really cool, and also a pink present.